But has your taste changed over the years?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's definitely down to like opportunity of other people putting me onto things and like having other people that are interested in different facets and like also like my intrigue of just like listening to something again and again and again and trying to understand it or trying to feel it, and especially with like I think like rap music especially, because I suppose it's what I do, like the kids, like listening to like these young rappers that are like 18, 17 with like so much auto-tune and like figuring out why, like what is that, and like then not forcing me liking it, me then having an affinity with it because I figured out that it's not about the lyrics potentially, it's about the vibe and the feeling, which then helps me to kind of like, I don't have to make that kind of music, I don't need to be a part of that music, but I know it's fresh and I know it's meaningful and I know it's like DIY and it's like urgent. And I think there's like sometimes with the older you get, the music doesn't feel as urgent because it's like well thought out and calculated.
Well, you might be trapped in a time as well. Like if you speak to, there'll be decades or like generations where if you speak to an older generation and ask them what the best music is, they'll go to music that they listened to when they were 18 to 24 and they'll say that's the best. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if you can get out of that time capsule, like I don't listen to many new rappers of a certain strand, like the auto-tune one. I know that I don't like that sort of stuff, but that doesn't, like I listen to people that age that make other types of music that I like.
Of course,
do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's not really like the discovery thing can be sort of all ages.
What does being a fan look like now for you guys? So being a fan of an artist is what, like listening to their music constantly. What does it look like? Why? What would say I'm a fan of this person? Like, what
I think
does that mean?
because I'm a fan of a couple of like new artists, as in the last 5 years. I'll always still go to their show. I'll like and comment on their posts. I'll put their songs in my playlist. But yeah, no, it doesn't happen much. But there might be a handful of those sort of people. But when you're younger, you sort of like anything, you know, like when I was 20, anyone I discovered that was in the Soul Aquarians or something like that, I'm like, their whole back catalogue, I'm listening to everyone's whole back catalogue. I love every single song. And like, every single Radiohead song like is amazing, and you know, D'Angelo can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you have the time to dedicate the time you got, because when you're younger you have the time to dedicate the fandom, whereas for now I'd say I'm fans of people, but I'm not an active fan. Like the most level of fan I'd be is if I see you're in London,
Might go see you.
I'll come to a show
And buy a vinyl.
I buy a vinyl. Like I see and appreciate what you're doing, but I don't always know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
And that's interesting, I suppose, for then on the flip of the artist side, is that like sometimes we take things so personal. With fans, and we go, oh, why are you not? And it's like, nah, like everyone's like, it's not personal. No one's actively saying they don't want to listen to you. Potentially, like it might just be like they might not. I remember I was speaking about this, is that like even with like social media, likes and that kind of stuff, pretty much maybe 1/4 of the people that have seen your post or have seen your thing, I might interact with it, because some people just don't want to interact with stuff like that, and it's not personal. It doesn't mean that they hate you. It doesn't mean that they don't like. It doesn't mean that you're falling off. It just means that like the same way that we treat content and how we absorb things, we just haven't got time to like everybody's thing or go on everybody's story, or because life is life. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes maybe taking the pressure off of yourself as a creative and being like, nah, it's not personal.